Hey everybody, it's your old pal Jeff Walliner, or to some of you, your sworn blood enemy, Jeff Walliner. But in any event, I do want to thank you for joining us today. I'm sure you have one question going through your mind. What the hell was that intro music? Very fair question. And honestly, I have no idea. It was free, so what are you going to do? We're here today to talk about how to be a memorable speaker at your next event. Now first, let's take a step back and ask ourselves, why is that important? Why do you got to be memorable as a speaker? Well, there's really two ways to go about this. Number one, you're memorable in a great way. You see those same people again, over and over again, your family, your friends, your professional colleagues, and they say, wow, that speech was awesome. I mean, awesome. Or there's the other alternative where you weren't so awesome and you weren't so memorable, and they take a look at you and they say, oh, hey, yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be that person. So ultimately, what do we do to become memorable in our next speaking engagement? And it comes down to one very simple thing above all. Take the window and zoom. And you're probably asking your second question. Now, what does that mean? Okay, we're not going to speak in circles anymore. We're going to take the window of what people say is acceptable discourse, and we're going to zoom it out. Now, what does that mean? The window of acceptable discourse. It means what people tell you you're allowed to say. Now, we think that when we're kids, that's the last time we're going to have boundaries. We can't say the bad four-letter words. We can't do this, and we can't do that, and we can't eat the candy, even though I just had a bag of M&Ms just now, and it was awesome. But I digress. We're told we can't do this, but we think once we become adults, we step out into the world. Suddenly, hey, the world's our oyster. We can do what we want, say what we want, go where we want. Until we suddenly find out, not that simple. There are things out there called the media, HR, forces at work that basically say no. No. You can't say that. It's not legal. It's not publicly acceptable. Whatever it is, you can't say it. And that's the window. That's the box they create for us. So in order to be a truly memorable speaker at your next event, take this box. I'm not a mime, so kind of bear with me. Take this box here and just zoom it out a little bit. And zoom, the box is what you can say, zoom it out a little bit. So normally everything would operate within this little box right here. Now if you zoom it here, and suddenly you're walking along this line, right alongside that box, people take a step back and say, whoa, all right, I'm kind of picking up what you're putting down here. Let me give you an example, because I know right now this is probably making no sense at all. There was a client I had a few months back who was a best man in a wedding. And one of the groomsmen was named Brian. And Brian, over the past year, had gone through 3 name changes for a variety of reasons. Different phases, thought somebody was trying to kill him, probably was if you knew Brian, but anyway, Brian went through a couple of different name changes, and the best man got up there, and this was his first line. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and whatever the hell Brian's calling himself these days. Now, he called out the elephant in the room. He immediately called it out. It brought the house down. And who do you think laughed the hardest? Brian. Brian loved it. And to this day, people are coming up to this best man, and I know because this morning he emailed me to say, hey, I just wanted to thank you again. That speech was awesome, particularly the Brian line. People at my family gathering this past weekend told me that Brian line they're still laughing about. So why is that relevant? Because the box of acceptable discourse, the box that we have, and these could be in our family gatherings, these could be in corporate settings. The box says, don't joke about something personal. If somebody's transgender, don't joke about it. If somebody's too short, don't joke about it. If somebody has a lisp, don't joke about it. Don't joke. No, okay, see, there, that's right. Don't joke. Don't joke about it. No matter what it is, you can't joke about it. But if you take something like that and you walk along that line without being nasty, without being mean, without being cruel, but you just put a little bit of something into it, a little bit of seasoning on it, all of a sudden people take a step back and like, wow, he went there, but you know what? That's pretty funny. And by doing that, you become memorable. So think about the next event you have coming up. Think about something that's a bit of a gray area topic, something that everybody has been desperately running away from, desperately trying to avoid. Could be the CEO's new toupee, probably. If that's the case, find a good toupee joke and run with it. But again, don't be mean, don't be cruel, don't be nasty, but go right up along that line. This is the box, don't play here, play right here. Zoom it out and play right here. And I promise you, you're going to bring down the house at your next event. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you probably have concerns given the list joke. I can understand that. You can contact my attorney. We can have this conversation offline. But thanks again for joining me today, and I will treat you again to some of the awesome music you jumped into. Sayonara, guys.